Hello students, welcome back to the General Science digital class. Hope you all are doing well at your homes and taking proper nutrition. As you all know, we need energy to do work. Proper nutrition provides us that energy and helps us fight the diseases. So tell me, from where do we get energy? Yes, from food. We all take food and use it. This is called nutrition. What is the need for nutrition? Its types in plants and animals. All this we are going to learn, and hence we are starting with a new lesson, that is lesson number 4, nutrition in living organisms. First of all, what is nutrition? The process of taking in and using food which takes place in living organisms is called nutrition. What is the need for nutrition? To supply the energy required for doing work, for the growth and development of the body, to replace the damaged cells and repair tissues, and to fight diseases. Now, as you know that we get several types of nutrients from foodstuffs. Can you name some of the nutrients? Yes, carbohydrates, proteins, fats, minerals and vitamins. All these are nutrients. Nutrients can be classified into two types, namely macronutrients and micronutrients. Nutrients like carbohydrates, proteins and fats are required in large quantity, so these are called macronutrients. Minerals and vitamins, which are required in very small quantity, are called micronutrients. Now, types of nutrition. There are two types of nutrition, autotrophic nutrition and heterotrophic nutrition. Some organisms can produce their own food and thus nourish themselves. This is called autotrophic nutrition, and the organisms are called autotrophs. Some organisms depend on plants and animals for their food. This is called heterotrophic nutrition. Heterotrophic nutrition can further be classified into three types, as you can see here: saprotrophic nutrition, parasitic nutrition and holozoic nutrition. You have studied in your previous classes that plants can make their own food and hence are known as autotrophs. Now tell me, how do plants make their food? Yes, plants make their food through the process of photosynthesis. As you can see here, plants get water and mineral from soil and carbon dioxide from air with the help of small pores, also known as stomata, present in their leaves. In the presence of sunlight, with the help of a green pigment called chlorophyll present in the chloroplast of the leaves, plants prepare their food. Here you can see the structure of chloroplast. In the reaction given below, you can see carbon dioxide and water in the presence of sunlight give glucose and oxygen. So, chlorophyll present in the chloroplast of the leaves, in the presence of sunlight, help the plants to make their food using carbon dioxide and water, and oxygen is released into the air in this process. Now, as you know, roots absorb water and minerals from soil and leaves absorb sunlight and carbon dioxide from air. Then how do water and minerals is transported to the whole plant and the food prepared in the leaves transported to the whole plant? So for that, there is a transport system in plants. It consists of two vessels, xylem and phloem. The vessels transporting water and minerals from roots to all other parts are called xylem vessels. Another vessels transport food from leaves to all other parts are called phloem vessels. Here you can see section of a leaf showing xylem and phloem vessels. Plants get carbohydrates by photosynthesis, but they need proteins also. And for the synthesis of proteins, plants need nitrogen. So how do plants obtain nitrogen? Yes, nitrogen is present in air, but plants can't utilize gaseous nitrogen. It needs to be converted into nitrogenous salts, and this is known as nitrogenous fixation. Here you can see fixation of nitrogen by bacteria. The root nodules of leguminous plants contain rhizobium bacteria, which convert nitrogen gas into nitrogen compounds. Here you can see the roots of leguminous plants. These are the roots of leguminous plants. You know that living organisms are interdependent on each other for their survival. This interdependence is called symbiosis, and hence when two or more than two different types of plants live together to fulfill their needs of nutrition is called symbiotic nutrition. Examples are lichen and leguminous plants. We have studied that plants are autotrophic, that is, plants prepare their own food. But some exceptions are there. Plants which don't have chlorophyll can't perform photosynthesis. Such plants are dependent on other plants for their food and hence known as heterotrophic plants. One of the example, dodder or cuscuta, feed on stems of other plants. Loranthus is another example that grows on trees, also known as parasitic plant. Now, insectivorous plants. As the name itself suggests that plants feed upon insects to obtain their nutrients are called insectivorous plants. These plants grow in soil or water deficient in nitrogen compounds. Such plants receive nitrogen from their prey. You can see here Venus flytrap and Drosera burmani sundew. Drosera burmani, named after the scientist who identified it, is coated with a sticky substance called mucilage. When an insect lands on the plant, it sticks to it. After a while, the plant will curl around it and digest it. Venus flytrap. There are short, stiff hair on the leaves of Venus flytrap. When anything touches these hairs, the two lobes of the leaves snap shut, trapping whatever is inside. If the object isn't food, example, it is a stone or nut, the trap will reopen in about 12 hours and spit it out. Now, saprophytic plants. Saprophytic is the nutrition in which organisms get their food from dead or decaying matter. They break down the food material outside their body and then absorb it. So, the plants getting their food from dead and decaying matter are called saprophytic plants. Examples are mushroom and yeast. You can see here some pictures of mushrooms. Thank you, students. Read the lesson thoroughly from page number 26 to 29 and mark the important points Be healthy and stay safe.